Welcome to our movie review of the Odyssey 2026.
Yeah, so as promised, we are bringing you our thoughts on the movie The Odyssey, which I gotta say, if you only see one movie this year, let it be this one because, in my opinion, it was chef's kiss. What do you think?
It was a really good movie, a really good spectacle of all sorts of special effects. Christopher Nolan has been very well known to not use any CGI, and it really shows as the props, special effects, and overall everything just looks immaculate.
I mean, it was great. The entire film was filmed in IMAX cameras, so 70 millimeter format. I mean, and it shows. I mean, the movie is just, it's massive and it's immersive. You know, the movie is just under 3 hours, but I tell you what, I didn't feel it at all. I mean, I was like literally pulled in the entire time when I was there. I didn't feel like, it was like a slog or like, oh, when is this going to be over? I mean, no, you were like really drawn into this world, and I think a lot of it had to do with just the beautiful cinematography and also the use of those IMAX cameras. It really helped to bring this larger than life story to life and put it on the big screen and pull you into it.
If you have enough to spare, I beg you to watch it in IMAX. It was big, it was loud, it was boisterous, it was everything that a movie should be.
Absolutely, and we didn't see it in the kind of seats where the seats are supposed to rumble. We just saw it in the standard IMAX format. But I tell you what, the sound just made those made those seats vibrate. I mean, it was that incredible. But let's go and talk a little bit about the characters and the actors and give you our opinion about that. First of all, the main man, Odysseus, played by Matt Damon. I gotta tell you what, guys, he's our age, he's in his 50s and he looks great. Man, I mean, he's gone on record saying how difficult it was to get in shape for this movie. But I tell you what, if he's able to pull this off and have that kind of physique, in his 50s, it gives us a lot of hope. So, there's a big win for middle-aged guys. Thank you, Matt Damon. But as far as his portrayal as the character Odysseus, I think he was great. He was very nuanced, and he showed his the character flaws and the things that make him who he is, and the character arc from beginning to end.
Odysseus himself was originally portrayed by his men as a leader who could never be defeated. He was great. But the character that we are shown is very flawed. He makes mistakes, makes decisions that and largely reward himself with glory and fame, and nevertheless actually put his men in danger.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, his portrayal, Matt Damon's portrayal in the movie, really clearly shows the growth, the character arc from who he is at the beginning and to the end. The movie is largely told in flashback sequences. It's not linear, so as you go into it, it's going to be jumping back and forth between scenes of the Battle of Troy and scenes of him and his crew are trying to make it back home to Ithaca. Some standouts: Tom Holland as his son Telemachus. I think he did a really great job. He portrayed a really good character as far as what a young leader in training, the challenges he faces, when all the suitors are coming to his father's court trying to basically marry his mom. And so I think that was a really good portrayal on his part. Anne Hathaway's Penelope, she did a fantastic job. Robert Pattinson, Antinous, guy's like total slime ball, and he did a good job. And Charlize Theron as Calypso, she was fantastic. Agamemnon, let's talk about this guy for a little bit. So I got introduced to a new word called aura forming. That's a new thing for me, and I just lost my son.
First off, that's not how you say it, and second off, don't ever say that again.
How do you say it?
Aura farming.
So
Long story short, Agamemnon, whatever you say his
good
name.
job.
However you say his name, he was very good. When he enters
Enters the scene.
When he first enters the scene, And first off, you could just feel the tension. You could just feel his presence, even when, you know, even though he's on screen, you could just feel it. Know what I mean?
So Agamemnon, if you're not familiar with him, he's the leader of the Greek army. You've seen him in the trailers. He's the big guy with the suit, the dark helmet, the dark cloak. He gives off Darth Vader vibes, and that is what we mean when he enters into the scene. I mean, you feel like, that's Greek Darth Vader. I mean, he had that kind of energy. So, but that guy did great. Let's see. His brother, John Bernthal, Menelaus, he was really good. John Leguizamo as Eumaeus. So I was really impressed with his performance. John Leguizamo, he's used, normally he does, characters that are, kind of funny or quirky or whatever. But this one was, a very, very different type of character that he portrayed, and I think he did great. I mean, he showed a lot of strength for his character. He wasn't like a warrior per se, but I mean, he was like a wise old, teacher. And I think, he did a fantastic job on that. Lupita Nyong'o as Clytemnestra and Helen, I think she did great. It's unfortunate she's receiving all the hate that, she is online, but I think she did fantastic. Samantha Morton, Cersei. Now, when they get to that scene, the island of Cersei, and if you're familiar with the story of the Odyssey and you know what happens to Odysseus' men, that scene is creepy.
First off, all I gotta say is if you have any sort of fear of the uncanny and or just weird things in general, I suggest just not watching it.
So that's, there's reasons why this movie got an R rating, and it's not because, it was excessively violent or there was any kind of sexual, depiction or graphic nudity. There really wasn't any of that. Really, it received the R rating, in our opinion, was because of the almost horror aspect. One of the first monsters that Odysseus and his men encounter on their journey home back to Ithaca is the Cyclops, Polyphemus. That whole scene was terrifying. I mean, you literally see him, grabbing soldiers, plucking them off the ground, and eating them, and it's pretty unsettling. So I mean, there's those scenes, and I think that's kind of what led to the R rating. So it's not gory, but it is kind of unsettling to see that kind of stuff.
Also, if you have any sort of sensitivity towards bright flashing lights or just strobing in general, again, don't watch it.
I'm glad you brought that up. So yeah, so there are some scenes in the movie throughout, especially when the men are on the ship. They're at sea and there's storms, there's lightning and whatnot. Because it's such a large format, there's going to be scenes where the screen just lights up and it's a very bright sudden flash. So yeah, so if you have any kind of light sensitivity, you do kind of want to keep that in mind, that at times, especially in those scenes, it's going to be an issue, because I mean it does kind of it does really light up the screen for those seconds when the lightning hits.
I personally could not see a thing during that entire scene. During that entire scene, lightning strike.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so in a nutshell, that's kind of our review of the major players, the major characters. What are our pros? What are some of the things that we like about it?
Pros. First off, special effects, props, overall story, and especially the characters are amazing. Now, the cons, while there may not be very much cons, me personally, a big one is that it didn't feel actiony enough. It didn't feel like, let me explain. The Battle of Troy was supposed to be this big battle. Big, bloody, boisterous, loud, destructive, everything that a battle should be. But I didn't feel it. I didn't feel the blood. I didn't feel the battle, the strength, the, tension, the overall struggle between the two warring factions. And me personally, I would have felt, I want to feel more of that, battle.
Well, that's where I disagree with you because that's not this movie. That is this. The Odyssey is the voyage home after the battle. The battle you're talking about is part one. So that is you're not going to see that battle in its entirety. You're going to see basically the start when they bring in the Trojan horse and the aftermath, but you're not really going to see a whole lot of the battle because that's not what this movie is. This is basically, the Empire Strikes Back. You're not going to see Star Wars. So this is the journey home. The action sequences, in my opinion, were really good, and I was very impressed. I think this movie is going to win all the awards. I think this is going to get Matt Damon an Oscar nomination for sure. I think as far as supporting actors, Tom Holland's probably going to be, definitely up for it. Maybe Anne Hathaway, the best actress. Robert Pattinson, I think, might be best supporting actor. I don't know. But I really do think this is going to be a strong contention come award season. And, again, if you want a really, really good movie that I think is just a throwback to the kind of movies that we all kind of grew up on, but, done, with today's technology, you can't go wrong by seeing this movie. Don't let the 3 hours, keep you from going. You're going to enjoy yourself as I did. And I give this one 2 big thumbs up from yours truly, TheStarRaven. He gives it a 1 thumbs up. So I think
could have been more. Could have been more. I want, more battle, more horror. I really like the horror aspect of the whole entire thing.
That was unexpected.
I feel like we should have rolled with that and added some more of it. Everything should have been more. This movie is, big. It is the gigantic sequel to the already big movie that was Whatever Happened Before This. So we need more. More lights, more battle, more blood. We need more.
All right. So that's it. That is our review for The Odyssey, now showing in the theaters. Again, we really enjoyed it. We think you will too. And until next time, we got the next big movie coming up. Which one is that going to be?
Spider-Man Brand New Day.
That's right. We're going to go check that one out, and we're going to give you our review of that movie as soon as we get out the theater for that one. So until next time, TheStarRaven
and the Son.
We'll catch you next time. Take care.